Coming up, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed reiterates Ethiopia's commitment to AU-led process on GERD. Ministry says international and domestic observers finalize preparations to attend the upcoming elections. And Ethio Telecom launches first ever mobile money service, Telebirr. Hello and welcome to this news hour. I am Daniel Kasahun with the news. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has welcomed President Felix Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo and current chairperson of the African Union yesterday. During the discussions, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed reiterated that Ethiopia continues to be committed to African solutions for African problems and to an African Union-led process under the facilitation of the current chair of the Union. He further emphasized Ethiopia's firm position that the GERD can be an icon of cooperation and mutual development among the downstream countries with a commitment of no harm to both. Ethiopia affirms its desire for an agreement that works for all parties in accordance with the Declaration of Principles. Premier Abiy has also appreciated the positive role the president is playing in bringing about positive outcomes in GERD negotiations. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia says election observers from international and domestic institutions are finalizing their preparations to attend the upcoming elections. Ministry's spokesperson, Ambassador Dina Mufti, mentioned the assurance of the United States Special Envoy to the Horn of Africa, Jeffrey Feltman's commitment to strengthen strategic ties with Ethiopia in his press briefing given on Tuesday. Damas Mokra reports.
Welcome to our briefing sessions.
Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Ambassador Dina Mufti gave his regular weekly press briefing concerning various diplomatic activities that were done during the previous week. The ambassador mentioned the discussion of the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Demeke Mekonnen with the U.S. Special Envoy to the Horn of Africa, Jeffrey Feltman, as one of the major diplomatic engagements. According to the spokesperson, the discussion between the two sides included the current status of the humanitarian support and rehabilitation activities in Tigray, as well as the negotiations over the GERD and the Ethio-Sudan border conflict, among other things.
American Special Envoy to Horn of Africa has been also visiting Ethiopia. He met a couple of Ethiopian officials, among which he met Deputy Prime Minister yesterday, where he was briefed in detail on the current issues prevailing in the region, particularly on the trilateral negotiations for the coming elections and the Ethio-Sudan border situations. The Deputy Prime Minister has also reiterated Ethiopia's conviction in maintaining a strategic relationship with the United States, that Ethiopia would like to further enhance strategic relations with the U.S. The Special Envoy also has expressed the commitment of the United States for strengthening relationship with Ethiopia. He also reiterated that the U.S. wants stable, democratic, and strong Ethiopia in the region. And he said also Ethiopia is a strategic partner in this part of Africa.
Ambassador Dina also said the electoral process is well underway with a surge in voter turnouts. Dina also expressed observers from international and domestic institutions are finalizing their preparations to undertake their responsibilities. The EU has also announced to deploy an election expertise mission which will follow guidelines to carry out their duties as laid out by proper institutions in Ethiopia, according to the spokesperson.
Well, with regard to the forthcoming elections, as you know, the preparations for the coming 6 elections, national election, is underway. The voters registration is surging. Code of conduct had been mapped out for those who contend. Airtime has been allotted to the contending political parties. Now the campaign has started actually and is underway. With regard to the observers, various observing groups have indicated that they're coming to observe. Mainly the African Union will observe, will send the observer team. Two reputable institutions, NDI and the IRA from the United States will arrive. They will come and observe. We do have also observers from the Russian Federation, from Russia. This is certain institute that has this task of observing.
The ambassador also mentioned the repatriation of 1,168 Ethiopian citizens from Kenya, Beirut, Saudi Arabia, and Yemen during the previous week.
The Ethiopian ambassador to Germany, Mulu Solomon, says the election process in Ethiopia is going in the right direction and the experts sent from the European Union will see and understand the real situations of the country, both on the side of the people and all the political parties, including the ruling party.
All of us are trying to express the genuine stance or stand of our government and the stand of our even opposition parties. All of them are now having trust in the electoral board in the Ethiopian election. That's why they come to compete. And people, even at this time of COVID, at this hard time, also people are still carefully trying to register and come up with their cards to elect. All this process, we explain how things are going in a good direction, in the right direction. And we couldn't even understand why EU all of a sudden come up and say we are not coming, because initially when we were talking to them, they were ready to come and observe. But all of a sudden, when they come up with this, we couldn't understand what's going on. And I hope even for EU, who have been helping us for the election, who have been helping us for so many issues, it may not be understandable why this decision came, but we believe still they will go to this correction and come up with so many issues while they are sending experts also. We believe their experts will understand the genuine condition of our country.
She also stated that it is a great experience for the European Union and other observers, the first ever free and fair election of Ethiopia after the reform.
The Ethiopian government is giving all the chances, and the competitors are now they are introducing their programs through the national television so that they express what they want, tell the people, and compete freely. And this was what we would like to the Europeans and others to observe. Otherwise, we are not looking for anything else. But if they are coming, it's good even for them to understand and see the nice and best type of election ever in the country, because they have been observing even those which have a lot of elections which have a lot of problems. And this time was a good witness for European Union or anybody who's coming in. Will be a great experience for them to come and see what is happening in Ethiopia. Even through all these challenges, Ethiopia is preparing everything intact in a better condition to make it happen, to make it reliable, credible. That should be appreciated by any party, by any partner.
The ambassador further underscored that the Ethiopian government believed that the European Union will continue its long-term partnership with Ethiopia in different issues.
There must be something wrong or misunderstanding, but actually they have initially were towards sending observer. Later on, they changed their mind. They announced that they are not sending an observer because Ethiopia was very reasonable because the issues they raised, those acceptable issues were accepted by our government. But if other issues are not something which is not accepted to our government, and if it is not according to our understanding of keeping the country's sovereignty, it may not be acceptable actually. But now they have decided to send experts for observation. We believe they will more understand the genuine situation of Ethiopia, the real understanding of the country, and the genuine stance of the government. And we believe things will be fulfilled, but the fulfillment of the criteria set by the Ethiopian government should be maintained, should be kept, obviously. But we know EU is a very good partner for Ethiopia, and it will continue to consider such things in the future also.
The chief of the state of Amhara calls on the Intergovernmental Authority on Development IGAD to promote Ethiopian stance of fair use of the Abai water to the global communities. This came at a panel discussion IGAD held in Bahir Dar city, aiming at strengthening early action to prevent potential conflict in the Horn region. Allah Teklemariam takes it from here.
The Intergovernmental Authority Development IGAD held a panel discussion in Bahir Dar city aiming at strengthening early actions to prevent potential conflict in the region. Speaking on the occasion, Chief of the Amhara State, Agenyo Teshagar, mentioned GERD and the Ethio-Sudan borders a potential cause of cross-border conflicts, citing the need to address it in a scientific way.
We are making preparations to undertake the second filling of the GERD reservoir, but encircled by a lot of challenges coming in from external powers. Egypt and Sudan are collaboratively working to twist our hands while we are striving to develop our natural resources. Irrespective of all these challenges, we will fill the GERD as scheduled. We Ethiopians want to equitably and fairly use the Nile water with our Egyptian and Sudanese brothers and sisters. We don't entertain other intention than cooperation. Therefore, IGAD has the responsibility to create awareness among the international communities in this regard. In connection to this, we want IGAD to address security issues in the Ethio-Sudan borders. As Sudan invaded our territory and displaced our farmers, it could instigate conflict between the two countries.
A conflict research expert at the IGAD, Sembe Okello, expressed the need to strengthen early actions to prevent conflict in the region.
There is a great demand for proactive engagement and collaboration.
Furthermore, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development IGAD tabled the current security issue in Ethiopia and suggested the importance of intensifying scientific actions to prevent and manage conflicts.
Ethiopia is the source of the Blue Nile and contributes over 85% of the Nile's stream flow. To this day, Egypt and Sudan are using 100% of the water, sticking to their 1959 colonial agreement between them. Not being signatories, Ethiopia and other upstream states do not recognize this agreement. Ethiopia is at the eve of completing the Great Renaissance Dam. Costing over $5 billion that is being paid by ordinary Ethiopians. This dam will generate 5.1 gigawatt of power, and it is a non-consumptive, eco-friendly, existential necessity to millions. The three countries have been in dispute over the construction, filling and operation of this dam. Even thought this dam provides major benefits to Sudan and Egypt in terms of reducing evaporation loss, silt, sedimentation and unexpected flood. This dam is not just about generating power. It is a matter of survival for millions of Ethiopians who deserve a dignified life as their Egyptian counterparts.
Welcome back. You are watching Addis News Hour. The chief of the Amhara state, Agenyo Teshagar, has held talks with French ambassador to Ethiopia, Remy Marchaks. Agenyo called on France to continue support to the Amhara region in the areas of heritage protection and development, as well as urban infrastructure development. He also called on France to facilitate trainings for leadership in the region, briefing the French ambassador on the 6th general elections. The French ambassador to Ethiopia on his part said France is working to strengthen its long-standing diplomatic and economic ties with Ethiopia, reaffirming his country's commitment to supporting urban infrastructure and other sectors in the Amhara region.
Ambassador, I visited the Amhara region as I visited earlier other regions, because being ambassador to Ethiopia doesn't mean to stay in Addis. So it's important to meet local actors, especially in the federal system. So our flagship project, as you may know, with the Amhara region is the Heritage Protection Conservation project with the Lalibela churches. So this has been initiated by President Macron when he paid a state visit to Ethiopia and visited Lalibela.
Ethiopia and France have further strengthened their cooperation in the military, economic, cultural, and other fields, including the renovation and promotion of Saint Lalibela churches.
We've been working on this project for more than a year, and we have now completed all the studies and are about to propose to the federal government, but also to the steering committee in which the Amhara region is represented, some solution for the long-term preservation and restoration of the churches. In addition to this, and in this region, as we do in other regions, we have partnership between universities. We support the teaching of French language, but we also have scholarship. And we work together with the World Bank for the cities of Bayardar and Gondar, but the same way we work also with 18 other cities outside of the Amhara region.
You are watching Addis News Hour. The President of the Ethiopian Islamic Affairs Supreme Council, Grand Mufti Haji Umar Idris, has urged Muslims to make the Eid al-Fitr holiday peaceful and in unison. The President has extended his greetings to all Muslims on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr celebration. Sintayo Tamrat has more.
President of the Ethiopian Islamic Affairs Supreme Council, Grand Mufti Haji Omar Idris, has extended greetings to all Muslims on the occasion of the 1442nd Eid al-Fitr celebration.
የተከበራችሁ የኢትዮጵያ ሙስሊሞች በአገር ውስጥም ያላችሁ በውጭም ያላችሁ
The Ethiopian Muslims here and abroad and Muslims around the world, I'd like to say you happy 1442nd Eid al-Fitr.
The president has also urged Muslims to mark the holiday peacefully and in unison.
ሙስሊም የተከበረ ነው። ሙስሊም
Muslims are respected. They are people of manner and friendship. I'd like you to mark the holiday being together, respecting each other, praising Allah, and helping the needy. Apart from this, our country is currently facing some challenges, so we need to pray so that these issues can be solved.
እንድንካፈል እንድንበላ አደራ ማለት እፈልጋለሁ። በተረፈ
The president further asked the Muslim community to adhere to COVID-19 control and prevention rules while celebrating Eid al-Fitr.
The Oromia Journalists Association President Nazif Jamal condemns the brutal killings of the Oromia Broadcasting Network, OBN's journalists, by the terrorist militants. He says killing of journalists is unusual in Ethiopia, even in the wartime, and expresses his condolences over the death of the renowned journalist Sisai. He stated that the late Sisai was a strong journalist with a strong sense of publicity and good manners, and he wished the deceased to rest in peace.
So, first of all, as Oromia Journalists Association, we are here to condemn killing of our member, journalist Sisai Vida, who was a member of, or a colleague of Oromia Broadcast Network. We condemn killing of journalists wherever it happened, whoever does it. Any journalist and media professional should be protected by all bodies. So the killing of the journalist, very senior journalist, Sisai Vida, is tragic, and we really want to convey our condolences to his family, his colleagues, and relatives.
Nazif also forwarded his view that the government of Ethiopia should safeguard journalists and do its maximum protection to them, particularly during the upcoming 6th general election.
Our message as Oromia Journalists Association is anyone, any side should protect journalists, because journalists are there to tell their truth, not only one side truth. They have to understand that journalists are there to serve the community, including themselves, who are considering themselves as opposition parties. Understanding this, they should protect journalists wherever they are, even in war. If war arises between them and the government, they have to protect media professionals to convey their message to the public. You remember we have been watching them on international media. Those are the journalists who are there to interview them and tell us about them. That's what they do. So anyone, including the government and the public, should protect journalists to the maximum and give them protection, and they have to live safe and tell others.
Founder of NIA Foundation, an indigenous joy center for children with autism, Zemi Yunus, has passed away in connection with COVID-19 induced health complications. She was attending coronavirus treatment for weeks in an intensive care and sharing some pictures showing her fight with the virus via social media, and many were optimistic about her recovery. That foundation is an indigenous, non-profit and non-governmental humanitarian organization established from the beginning to alleviate the all-rounded challenges faced by persons with autism and other later developmental disorders and young men and women living in challenging socio-economic circumstances. Having made the necessary multi-spectral preparations and forging partnership with the government, national and international NGOs, NIA Foundation was legally registered and licensed in 2006. In business, Ethio Telecom has officially launched Telebirr, an innovative mobile money solution for its customers. High-level government officials, including Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, attended the event that took place at the Friendship Square. The solution allows consumers to deposit, receive, and transfer money using their cell phones in areas where mobile network is available. Telebirr aims to extend mobile services to financially excluded sections of the society. In his remarks, the Prime Minister commended Ethio Telecom and all other stakeholders that enabled the realization of the project within a very short time period. By launching the service a mere short week after receiving the operational license, Ethio Telecom has demonstrated early preparedness.
Africa is a continent of diversity, with varied climate and enchanting geography, and a people so distinct, but with a shared enduring spirit. We are at the heart.
Let's have a look.
We celebrate Africa.
Ethiopia. Tanzania.
You are watching Addis News Hour. And finally, a news from across the continent. The Council of the European Union has recently approved the conclusions affirming the EU commitment to give new impetus to its partnership with the Horn of Africa and establishing a new strategy for the region. A geostrategic priority for the European Union in Africa, the Horn of Africa region has undergone unprecedented developments over the last years and is now at a crossroads. This is according to the EU. With this new strategy, EU's intention is to further strengthen and deepen the strategic relationship with the partnership with the Horn of Africa and its countries, notably with a view to reduce instability, promote democracy and sustainable growth. The strategy will aim at reinforcing a joint approach to democracy and regional peace and security, revitalizing multilateralism and the rules-based international order, strengthening commitment to social and human development, boosting post-COVID-19 socio-economic recovery and trade and regional integration. And a reminder of the headlines. Premier Abiy reiterates Ethiopia's commitment to AU-led process on GERD. Ministry says international and domestic observers finalize preparations to attend the upcoming elections. And Ethio Telecom launches first ever mobile money service, Telebirr. That's it all for this edition. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and stay safe.